Hello everyone. Today we will review the movie Holmes&Watson from 2018. I did start watching this the other night with my family, but unfortunately I fell asleep because I'd been up for so long during the holidays. It just seemed that I was trying to change my schedule for my Christmas holidays so I could kind of be up during the day more and asleep at night like a normal human being because I work straight nights, so switching is hard on the body sometimes, but I was able to do it anyway. So I'm going back to watch this movie today in the new year of 2021. We made it. We made it through 2020. I think we can say that officially. Uh, I know it was a bad year for a lot of people. Um, um, so yeah, but we've made it to the other side, and let's hope that 2021 is a better year for everybody. So let's get into this review. So this movie was Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly coming back for I don't know how many movies they've done together now, but it's been quite a few. Anyway, these two are perfect together, so I hope to see more work from the two of them together in the future, because this comedic duo is just absolutely perfect. They feed so well off one another. Obviously from The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, Step Brothers. I'm sure there must have been others. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But these guys work really well together. And this movie was just another comedy gold. So this movie starts off with obviously Holmes and Watson meeting for the very first time. Watson has just come back from the war, and he is about to commit suicide when he believes Sherlock Holmes is telling him not to jump, but Sherlock Holmes is just trying to save his prized plant that he has planted in his garden. So he basically tells him not to jump there, but to jump somewhere else, or there's a better way that he can off himself. It's just ridiculous comedy, like slapstick comedy mixed in with obviously some over-the-board humor. But, of course, the movie delivers it well, so that scene was actually kind of funny, the very first meeting between the two of them. And obviously, Sherlock Holmes is the smart one in this movie, so there's always, even mixed in with the comedy, there's always some very high intellectual stuff, like math equations and things that Holmes has to think through, including one where Moriarty, the bad guy, has sent this one tiny mosquito to kill them both. So Holmes has to kill it. So when he's swinging the paddle in front of his, I guess, prized bee colony that's supposed to be killer bees, he swings it so that it's so precise that it doesn't break the glass, but then as soon as they turn around, you hear the glass break and the bees come out, and that scene was absolutely hilarious. I'm just going to pull this up here real quick while I'm talking, because I can't remember the name of the woman that worked for them, but this won't take me very long, so when Sherlock and Watson get to the courtroom, they tell all of the people that the person up on the stand for trial is not Moriarty, but yet an imposter. And we do find that out later on in the movie when they're at I don't know, I'm not really sure whether it was like a gymnasium or some sort of training facility for obviously boxers and things. They find this tattoo artist, and he obviously tells them that they're not going to make it out of there alive without... No, that's not it. Yes, Miss Hudson was the woman who worked for them. So when they're at this gym, they find the tattoo artist that they've been looking for to help them along with their next clue. They find the imposter Moriarty. He ends up dying. So now they know that obviously Moriarty is in the States for sure, because that's what Sherlock Holmes says at the beginning of the movie when they bust in at the very last second before the imposter is going to be arrested. So Now they've killed the imposter, so then they go on about their clues. Uh, Sherlock Holmes thinks that the two American women, one of them being a doctor and one of them being her assistant, might be involved in the crime somehow. So he goes about trying to set it up that they are the ones, or trying to figure out, put the clues together to see if they are in fact involved in this somehow. He finds out that they're not. So then he goes on about his business, and eventually the clues connect to it actually being Watson who's committed the crimes, because somebody tells him it would have to be somebody who was close to him, and that somebody who was close to him, who knew his every move, who knew him best, who was at all the crime scenes. So Sherlock Holmes puts that together and tries to prove that it was Watson that did it. He then discovers that obviously it wasn't. We then find out that it was Miss Hudson, the woman who was working for him. I guess she was the daughter of Moriarty. So we now know that she is the one trying to kill the Queen. So of course she plants a bomb on the famous ship, the Titanic, in order to kill the Queen. So at the end of the movie, Hudson ends up saving the day. Or no, not Hudson, sorry. Watson ends up saving the day because Sherlock Holmes can't actually figure this one out. So Watson takes it into his own hands and throws the bomb out the window of the ship right onto Miss Hudson's boat and blows her up in the process. So they say that, of course, the Queen says Sherlock Holmes saved the day, but of course he gives it to Watson and says that anybody who boards the ship in the future, make sure you know who put you here, Mr. Watson. Or Dr. Watson, sorry. So that was actually funny because obviously we know what happened to Jeez, I can't talk today. Obviously we know what happened to the Titanic. So we know that obviously having your name etched in that part of history probably wasn't the best. But anyway, that is how, obviously they didn't know that at the time, because I don't know how many years or how many more years it was before, so this was in the 1860s, and I'm not sure what year the Titanic actually sank, but I know it was quite some time ago now, so anyhow, I believe that's pretty much all I can say about this movie. I mean, the comedic duo was perfect. I wouldn't say this was my favorite movie with the two of them in it, but I mean, they still did a fantastic job, and I did like the aspect of the actual, intellectual part of it mixed in with the comedy. It made it really good because it wasn't always focused on the comedy. And I know Will Ferrell has done other more serious movies. If you've really followed his catalog, he did one that was entirely in Spanish that I started watching some time ago, but I can't remember what it was now. I'll have to go back and see if I can find that on Netflix maybe or somewhere else and maybe do a review of that one, because I remember it being kind of funny but a little bit more serious as well. But anyway, they do end up tracking down Moriarty at the end of the movie to the States. He's in Wyoming, I believe, was the place that they said. And he gets this note saying that they know that he's alive, and then it shows them at the bar pointing at him, and then this person walks by and they disappear. So obviously we know that now maybe this is an opening for a potential second movie, which I would love to see them come back and reprise their roles as these two guys. I will give this movie an 8 out of 10 as a rating, just because there were some weird parts to the story, like the girl who basically pretended to be, I don't know, kind of, I wouldn't say mentally challenged, but I guess she was pretending to be kind of dumb in a way in order to, I don't know whether she was like some sort of psychologist or something. I can't remember what she said her profession was at the end, but she was trying to basically prove that she could seduce men in any way, so that was kind of a weird thing, but it didn't really add to the story at all, and I would say that was the only flaw. She could have just been a normal human being, and it would have been absolutely fine. But I guess maybe that was part of the comedic factor, maybe in the movie. I mean, that did add some funny elements to it because obviously her acting that way, like drinking from the water pool out in the middle of the park in public, and things like that, and obviously eating the onion with Sherlock Holmes was a funny scene when they're in the morgue, and the scene between John C. Reilly and the doctor when they're doing the autopsy, and they've made love in the autopsy room. I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, there were definitely some high quality funny moments in this movie, especially what Sherlock Holmes puts Watson through. He poisons him, hits him in the back of the head with a croquet mallet, just to get the clues together. He just puts him through pretty much everything that he possibly can to prove his theories. So that was obviously one of the funnier parts of the movie, is all the stuff that Watson has to go through at the hands of Sherlock Holmes. And I think that's all I have to say about this movie. So please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on this film if you've seen it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye for now.